This is a little known fact, but they actually stick straws in things and suck out all the
I
blood
thought they were
first.
Not in California, they don't. You can't have straws in California.
Oh. I was like furiously thinking about this movie. I'm like, what am I talking about?
What the f*** is he talking about?
my God.
I'll explain my jokes.
Welcome to the What's Our Verdict podcast, where we fashion ourselves cinematic judge and jury. My name's JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-host, Mattson Heiner.
I'm back, better red than dead.
Javier Ortiz.
This is like the 9th time you're back, dude.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
What is
Guess
up,
who's
my
back?
nerds?
We always derail so much faster when we're in person. And Ian Anderson.
Some shit.
Do you ever wonder if you should spend the time, money, or both on a movie? We answer that question for you. Each week we put a movie on trial, pass judgment, and let you know our verdict. We appreciate any help growing the podcast. Hit that follow or subscribe button. Tell a friend about us. Go to our website, whatsourverdict.com. Sign up for our newsletter where we send out exclusive content and updates. This is a special episode for us. It is What's Our Verdict podcast's 1-year anniversary. So as you listen to this on March 1st or after, we've been doing this for a year. It's been a fun year. So
Has it?
yeah, well, okay. So everything but the podcast has sucked, but the podcast has been fun.
It's true. The podcast has been what got me through this year.
I'm telling you, because at least we could do that shit from home.
It did help.
It was very fun.
Guys, we watched some of the shittiest movies I've ever seen in my life this season.
It's
Yep.
been
It
a
was
rough
kind of
movie
up and
year.
down.
Yeah.
It's been a rough.
Well, we had a great slate of movies,
God, we did too.
and then they got taken from us.
There is no God.
Old bait and switch.
Welcome to my team, Javier. Well, that being said, with it being a special episode, we did promise Javier something a long time ago in the podcast, and that was we would review his favorite movie, Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Come on, Mattson, give it to us. Beautiful.
Sorry, I forgot how it started again.
No, that's why I gave you a couple of notes there.
That's hilarious. Oh, God. So, yeah, we are reviewing this week Jurassic Park. It was released on June 9th, 1993. It was written by Michael Crichton and directed by Steven Spielberg. It stars Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Richard Attenborough, Ariana Richards, and Joseph Mazzello.
What's the name?
Yeah, that's the kid. And it took me a minute. I was trying to look up his name on IMDb. And he's so much older now, his picture. I was like, where the fuck is this kid, Tim? Then I was like, oh, shit, he's a man.
He's dead because he got vaporized.
Oh, I was like, what? Really? He's dead?
Me too. I was like, well, that was disrespectful.
He's dead.
Yeah. Oh, God, that was great.
10,000 volts will do it to you.
Absolutely.
Just 120.
It would do it to you.
Yeah, Tim's invulnerable to electricity,
Yeah, dude.
apparently.
Made of rubber.
Yeah, so let's jump in. I want to jump in and just start with, okay, obviously right out the gate, fun scene. We always laugh about it when we watch it with Javier because he still fucking freaks out every time we watch it. But it's the second time this year. I guess we watched it last year at the theater when they first reopened.
Oh, that was such a beautiful
No,
experience.
it sucked, everyone. Don't ever
It
watch
was
movies with Javier that
a
he's seen.
spiritual experience.
No, don't watch movies with him that he's seen many times because he'll ruin it. He talks before they all talk like 5 seconds before, and it's not fun.
It was entertaining as hell for me. Like,
Nope.
Like an echo.
Yeah, it was great. The
Javier
movie's an
echo.
echo. It's not like Javier's the echo. It's like the movie is an echo of Javier.
Guys, I should just perform it for you.
You should.
No shit.
It's like on The Office where he memorizes Die Hard. Like that. That's
Yeah.
the level that I expect.
I'll get one of
out
those
you.
inflatable T-Rex things so I can even like run around.
With like the little floppy head thing.
I'd like to see you play the scene where the lawyer gets eaten. That would be fun.
He's gonna play the lawyer.
I will. I'll let
I'm gonna take one for the team, man.
But I do laugh every time because Javier like enjoys the whole. Okay, so you have a special connection to this movie beyond the fact that it's your favorite fucking movie. But your wife actually knows that the very first scene that we meet Grant and they're on this dig site, that it's all a bunch of horse shit. So tell us why, Javier.
So my wife is a geologist and she has an aneurysm every time we watch this movie because you like pan into them uncovering a full-blown velociraptor skeleton with a couple of like toothbrushes. And she gets so mad at that because in reality it's like you're like drilling away stone and rock. I don't know, I'm not a geologist. biologist, but I hear it's harder.
It's hard.
How hard could their job possibly be? They play it.
Then they freak out when the helicopter comes. Cover it up.
Yeah, oh no, we're gonna have to like brush
Rebrush
it off again.
It's going to do our work for us.
Oh, and that's not to mention that they find two intact velociraptors.
like 100 yards from each other.
Yeah, so obviously, let's just go ahead and get it out in the open because we're going to talk a lot of good shit about this movie because otherwise Javier might cry.
I will cry.
They'll hate all of us.
I will fight all of you.
This is the podcast I've been afraid of because we might end up like ending
I'm fucking
the podcast.
strapped right now.
I was going to say, he's going to shoot us all.
we end up ending the podcast 1 year later because of Jurassic Park.
But do people not really I mean, I quite like this movie. I don't have...
Oh, I love this movie.
I think if we would have strung together all the times that Javier's talked about it throughout the year, we wouldn't even have to record this podcast.
That's true. If we just splice it all together, that's the movie review.
It's true. Well, and it's funny. In past episodes, we've talked about the shit that drove me crazy of this movie, too, because it was similar to other movies. But I'm sure we'll talk a lot of good things, but there are some... And more so...
let's have it.
So here's the thing, guys.
Let's have it.
It's a great book.
Just so you guys know,
It is a great
we
book.
literally just finished watching this movie together. So it's one of those things where it's probably the 100th time I've seen it. It's probably the millionth time Javier's seen it. And all of us have seen it multiple times. And the continuity errors just get worse and worse the more I watch it. I still enjoy watching the movie. That's the thing. But I notice the little shit, which to me is more entertaining now.
I point them out like every time I'm watching it with someone. I'm like, hey, there's that hand. What happened to her flashlight? Why is she limping?
Yeah, that was the one that stood out the most. Laura Dern's character, what's her name again?
Ellie?
Yeah, like I thought there was a reason, like she twisted her ankle, but watching it this time, there didn't seem to be a reason that it happened. But then it happened, and Tim started limping too, but he did get electrocuted. Maybe he lost his Achilles.
He was dead for a second. So if anyone's gonna limp,
I always thought there was a reason she was limping, but I don't know why they let that be the case.
I couldn't remember if that was in the book, like that they were trying to like pull something from the book.
Maybe when she gets scared, she
But of
just
all the
starts
things
limping.
to pull from the it's a defense mechanism.
Yeah, it's a coping.
It's a coping. It's the worst time for that to kick in. You
Fucking
know?
velociraptor. Now I got a limp.
I don't think it's one of those things you know until you're being attacked by a dinosaur.
That's the shittiest fight or flight response
Yeah.
on the planet.
Specifically two dinosaurs, though.
She would have been self-selected out. Like she wouldn't have made it in evolution.
Shit. I just love that. Like, and I mentioned this. I think it's the first time it ever really dawned on me when she falls away from the raptor trying to come through the fence door, and Samuel L. Jackson's character's arm like falls on her, and she immediately calms down, like this fucker's Superman or something. Like he's gonna beat this dinosaur into submission, and then I'm like, the fucking dinosaur's still in front of you, and then she turns around and puts her back to it, and I'm like, you are the dumbest smart person on the planet.
Dude, also like the arm comes out of like the corner, like between like a fence and a storage cabinet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, your back is against this. You think a whole man is just gonna fit? Like, also the raptor just like stuck his arm in there. Like, what happened down here?
And where's all the fucking blood? Like, that's a great question that I noticed this time too. Where's the blood in this movie? And I realized they needed a PG-13 rating, right?
Well, yeah, when the lawyer gets mutilated, there should have just been a dump full of.
Well, not only that, but like the cow when they feed the rat cow.
Because he's going to the bathroom.
I didn't even think about that.
Are we 12 years old?
When we're together, we are.
Hey, we're just in sync right now.
When we're together, it's the greatest.
That is a good point.
Yeah,
There is no blood.
dinosaurs, this is a little known fact, but they actually stick straws in things and suck out all the
I
blood
thought they were
first.
Not in California, they don't. You can't have straws in California.
Oh. I was like furiously thinking about this movie. I'm like, what am I talking about?
What the fuck is he talking
Oh my god!
I'll explain my jokes.
It's weird though, Ian. They're funnier when you explain it.
Oh god.
Yep.
Yeah, but there's no blood. Like with the cow, they feed the raptors the cow. All that cloth is ripped to shreds, but there's not a drop of blood on
Oh,
it.
cows don't have blood.
No.
No.
They just walk around empty.
Yeah, I've never known. I never thought about that, to be honest.
Dinosaurs are very environmentally conscious. Like they don't waste anything except massive piles of poop.
Yeah.
And Samuel L. Jackson's arm.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, no blood except for the end of Samuel Jackson's arm and Ian Malcolm's
shoulder.
leg. Yeah.
I don't know. There's a little bit here and there.
I mean,
Yeah, but there's not like pools of it, right?
Well, Other than Tim had a bunch coming out of his ears after he got fried.
Well, he should have exploded.
Yeah, he should have fucking disintegrated from the inside out. 10,000 volts. His shit's meant to stop a T-Rex. And little Timmy just kind of goes flying backwards. And can we just say that Alan Grant is the greatest center fielder for children on the planet? Like he has to like over the shoulder Bo Jackson catch this fucker.
The day before, he would have just let Timmy fall on the ground.
He's like, all right, great, let's keep going.
Tim would have been asking questions as he was being electrocuted. The Dr. Grant like, I'm just going to let this little kid die.
Oh my God.
Dude, Tim was such an annoying kid the whole time.
I do love the part where the Grant's like, what car are you riding in? Whichever one you are. Fuck.
And then he walks over, opens the door, lets Tim get it, and then just closes it mid-sentence.
And he just keeps bringing up all the other books about dinosaurs and stuff. Shit was great.
We've all met kids like that.
I was a kid like that.
As a kid, when I watched this movie, I didn't realize how creepy Ian, what's the actor's name?
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff
yeah.
Goldblum.
Or is it
How creepy he is.
Jeff Goldblum.
Bloom.
Have you seen the interview with him?
Yeah. I have.
When he insults a blonde's intelligence, pulls on her hair, and continues to hit on her.
In front of her
rubber,
boyfriend.
Yeah.
rubber hand with the water.
Yeah, he's creepy as fuck.
Dude, no wonder why he has so many ex-wives. Dude.
He's
We don't
always
know how
looking
many he
out
had.
for an ex Mr.
A future
Mrs. Malcolm?
ex Mrs.
Yeah.
A
Malcolm.
future ex Mrs. Malcolm.
Smartest guy in the room, though, when it came to the dinosaurs.
He definitely knew.
What even is his job, dude? He's like, see, that's chaos theory. But weird things happen in the world. I'm like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. You get paid for this?
He's probably a professor.
Probably.
For sure.
Tenured, probably.
Well, I just like...
No doubt.
I just love that the old man gets after him in the helicopter, too. He's like, you've never been able to explain to me what it is you do.
He's a
He
rock,
gets all offended.
he's a rock star.
I'm telling you.
He's a math nerd, is what he is.
And he's barely that.
He's not even a good math nerd.
But he's great for the movie.
Oh, for sure.
He's got a deep understanding of schematics.
Follow the pipes.
Follow the pipes.
Follow the pipes.
It did work in his defense.
Yeah, it did work.
I know. I'm not down.
While he had his shirt open so you could see his chest.
That's the first thing I would do if I got like maimed by a T-Rex. I would take my shirt off.
I mean, if I looked like Jeff Goldblum at that time, I would.
Dude, it's hot in Costa Rica, guys. It's humid.
It is.
That's true.
know?
I still think his chest hair disappeared, though.
I would also shave in that situation.
We need to go back and watch the tape.
I told you guys, aerodynamics.
Here's the problem: is shaving your chest, your legs, whatever. And women, I don't envy you. I think it's great that you do it.
I love that you guys shave.
Thank
Absolutely,
you.
but
Very thankful.
that shit sucks. Like.
I couldn't imagine doing that regularly. I don't even shave my face.
Me neither. I've done it once, like where I shaved my chest and I was like, the freaking bumps and I'm out. It's not fun and it's not worth it.
I thought you were telling our audience you've only shaved once, and I was considering if that was true or not. But
Probably shaved my face once in the last like 2 years.
wow, what's underneath there?
Nothing cute, that's for sure. Nothing anybody wants to see. It's not what's under it that you got to worry about. It's what's in it. That's
There's
the thing.
dinosaurs in there.
Little leftovers.
What are those little guppies called? The little dinosaurs that we didn't see in this
The
one.
compies.
The compies, the little runts.
The commies?
Can we move on to
Fuck the commies.
a devastating fact? There's some facts that we need to set straight in this movie, but I'm really sad. I'm gonna turn the time over to Javier to tell us about raptors.
Yeah, raptors are tiny guys. They're like little turkeys. Well, big turkeys.
It's really sad.
Yeah, that apparently was heartbreaking to Madsen because he brought
Yeah.
it up like 60
The whole
times.
movie is like, we're in a 2-hour movie and like every 30 minutes, it's like, I can't believe they're big turkeys.
Big turkeys.
Yeah, it's just disappointing. Thankfully, Utah has like this sweet adult, like big raptor. Like we're cool. Like come move here. Yeah, but this is gonna parent all the little runts, man. Turkey raptors.
Kids are like being hunted in a kitchen, and Matt's just like big turkeys.
It's not. Yeah, it's not nearly as scary because I think of like a Thanksgiving turkey. Like
That's where they. It's like,
it's not gonna scare you. Come on.
Fair. Can't turkeys be pretty vicious?
oh yeah, they're scary. When
Aren't
they
they
get close
little-
though.
Oh, really?
I mean, not rats.
I think
are
you're thinking
scary,
of
but
ostriches.
Probably.
I don't know anything about an
Jumanji?
ostrich.
Wait, that's way different. That did not
Yeah,
work.
it's like maybe in Jumanji when it
Yeah.
pokes you and you blow
The
up.
only thing I know about ostriches is from that Kevin Hart special where he talks about he was driving somewhere, the dude he was with like threw something at an ostrich and then it was like running to keep up with the car. That's all I know.
terrifying.
Apparently they're fast. They hold grudges.
That would be
very,
scary.
very fast.
Anyways, can we get back to the oversized turkeys, please?
Well, yeah, I just
AKA
left 'cause
raptors.
they're chasing these kids in the kitchen and then just waiting for the kids to stand up and goes, in real life, this is where we cook your ass, fuckers. That's what I was waiting for Madsen to scream. Like, yeah, he was very disturbed. But
I don't know, dude. If there was like a oversized turkey that wanted to eat me, I would be uncomfortable.
You're strapped. Shoot it.
Oh, that's a good point. Actually, I wouldn't be uncomfortable.
It's not that big.
The rest of you guys would be uncomfortable.
If I was a child that was small like that, yeah, I'd be still afraid. But if I'm an adult, I'm going to eat that turkey. But if there's a pack of those turkeys, like those little guppies, then I'm afraid because I can't take them all out. But I could probably handle 3.
Clever girl.
You think you could fight off 3 velociraptors?
Little oversized turkeys? Yes.
Yeah. Do you know how big a wild turkey is?
I do.
They're pretty big.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
I mean, they're not huge.
Yeah, like.
I mean, here's the thing.
You just keep saying little turkey, and I'm just not sure.
They wouldn't have been able to open the door in this movie.
That's true. They wouldn't be able to reach.
Like, what are they gonna do?
They would stand on top of each other.
Samuel L. Jackson would have come.
Coat.
Samuel L. Jackson would have come out of the corner. Okay, he would have been alive because they're small turkeys. The oversized turkey, when she turned on the breakers, and we didn't even get the Ian's comment during this movie that he felt so satisfied with the buttons that she turned on. Like,
the buttons are super satisfying.
And the way she turns them on is like so fluid and smooth.
She could turn me on.
Like Laura Dern does turn me on, but like the way she opens it is like all smooth and
they really worked that scene. But that oversized turkey like came out of the wall basically, or a wall of pipes.
It wasn't an oversized turkey.
That's what it
Just
is.
call them a Utah
Unless
raptor,
it's a Utah raptor, and if we want to call it that, then we can change it up. But it begs to differ. Where did Samuel L. Jackson go?
Well, as we learned, at least most of him was eaten.
Yeah.
Though it seemed like every dinosaur in this movie, except for the spitting dinosaur, the Diana, whatever the fuck that Dilophosaurus, was like hunted for sport.
And Laura Dern, Ellie she wasn't concerned that she didn't see him and he didn't like say anything. She's like, oh, like, yeah, he's fine. He's just waiting in the corner for me to turn.
Probably a good point
to turn the power on. What
Seriously,
really
there
happened?
was one velociraptor in there. It ate an entire human being except for an arm.
And he cleaned up the blood too.
No blood.
I mean,
no blood.
It's a considerate animal.
I mean, what about
it's a velociraptor?
Like she would have found like his glasses. Like probably would have stepped on
those
him.
right
like,
up.
come on, no.
Gobbled them up,
How are you gonna pass that out?
Femur, his shoes,
Dude.
but like Velociraptor is like 6 foot, and so is Samuel Jackson. They're like kind of the same size.
How long did it take that little dinosaur that spits that gooey stuff to eat? Nibbly, man. Like,
that's a very good.
Or like, did it just stop eating? Because like, dude, this dude, like,
this is too much.
Where's the meat?
Dude, that dude's like an alligator, has like a food cave somewhere, and he's like, I hit the jackpot.
Oh yeah, dragged him in. Well, I mean, no, he's stuck in that Jeep.
Yeah, but the dinosaur got in the Jeep just fine. If you think you can't get Nedry out of there.
I think Nedry opened the door, hit his head, fell down, and then instead of killing him on the ground, the dinosaur snuck past him in through the open door into the passenger seat and waited for dramatic effect.
Yeah, exactly.
We should call it Brainiosaurus. Almost drove the car. Like.
He probably could have gotten away with this heist better than Nedry did.
Just sitting there waiting for the dinosaur to be like, I know you're trying to get to the docks. Do you need me to drive?
you get down this hill, hang a right, and then immediately.
And we're going to go back to Javier's golden point. I'm surprised they didn't say it. If he was strapped, like, different story.
Dude, we're busting out shotguns halfway through this movie. Everyone should have. If Nedry had a shotgun, like, boom, as soon as that little Dilophosaurus turns that tree, boom, slug to the head.
Not really.
Let's go.
Because we see the size of the slugs at the end of the movie, and they look like 22 bullets. Seriously, like, these things are shotguns with slugs, and the holes in the window are like, they don't even break the window. They just put these little holes in it.
Dude, one thing that always bothered me about that scene is that you've got big-ass deadlocks on these doors, steel doors, and you've just got, like...
circular windows.
Yeah, just like, just glass windows. Yeah. Huge glass windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things should be, like...
I think after that incident, that company that supplied those doors probably put, like, a manual lock on the doors just in case, like, power's out, let's lock this door.
Yeah, that does seem like a major oversight.
This is also the same place that we talked about when we watched Jurassic Park 3 like 6 months ago, that had like that we talked about the little door and the giant dinosaur that stops because of the little tiny fence.
Blows through a giant steel bar fence and just like stops at this like
the little door.
Yeah,
it's got like a repellent coating or something.
Madsen has a good point. A lot of problems would be solved with deadbolts and guns in this movie.
True.
And paying people more, apparently.
Yeah.
Or as
Or
Ian
hiring
said,
the right person.
hiring the right person.
Yeah.
Get a good recruiter.
Never trust those consultant firms.
This movie is just an HR nightmare.
Yeah.
Dude.
Or maybe not test your system with people in it.
OSHA violations, underpaid
right out the
employees. Dude, what process you have to go through when people die, right?
Well, and then what lawsuit is actually going to be solved by having some scientists come in and say, no, everything's safe?
yeah, that seems like
Wouldn't you want a safety consultant to come in and say everything's safe?
yeah, like, hey, this raptor cage is not nearly as tall as it needs to be.
But who knows how tall it needs to be if they don't know if it's a Utah raptor or an oversized turkey? How are you,
Oh, this is a velociraptor? Yeah, this is plenty tall.
like, how are you supposed to know? No one knows how tall that needs to be. I mean, you look at the size of the oversized turkey, which is probably like 2.5, 3 feet, and then you're like, do I need to double it or just should I triple it? Because maybe it can jump higher.
Yeah, dude.
You got to have like a. You
We
got to have
already
a.
know that these things got hops.
The only way to know is do dinosaur Olympics. You got to see how much they can eat, how fast they can run, how much they poop.
That's a good
all
point.
kinds. Like,
that
you
would
gotta,
be a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bring in a safety inspector. It's like, all right, we got to really get down to the facts here. And he's racing a T-Rex versus a velociraptor.
Clearly, these velociraptors are OP though. Like come on. What about a triceratops? Like everybody loves triceratops.
We saw Triceratops.
Yeah, but it
It got a tummy ache.
it was
Half
sick.
dead. I mean,
The other part that I'm going to give you guys, the audience, is the T-Rex den turning into a sheer cliff
yeah, oh, fuck.
problem. Yeah.
That's number 2 on my list. Tim surviving 10,000 volts.
Oh, I forgot about that because
Is
the T-Rex came from that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, you could just fall.
Well, yeah, 2 seconds before, like when he first gets there, he snaps those cables and walks over the wall at the same level as the car, like right next
Is
to
that
the
a
cars.
Utah T-Rex? Like,
It's a 30-foot climb. I told you, he just climbs sheer concrete walls because it's not even like it was a cliff; it's a concrete.
I didn't
wall.
think about that.
That would be even more
How did they
terrifying.
get away with that?
They didn't until like people just don't notice it because you're like it's a fucking T-Rex.
Yeah.
Oh no, they fell in.
They
they're
got
in a
away
tree.
with it with CGI and
Yeah, like the exciting nature of the movie, they got away with it. But like I said, now I watch it and it's so bad. Like because I didn't notice it when I was a kid. Now as an adult, I watch it and I'm like, this
We
is
ruined
fucking
this
terrible.
for our listeners, and they're never going to forget that.
oh no, we
My
ruined
my
it.
other annoyance is in that same scene is when Tim and Dr. Grant are going down the tree. Like I said every time I said it this time we watched them, like we could go left, we could go right. There are many branches here where we don't have to let this car just smash us in the face. But
have
we like
options.
going down, but they're just not smart enough to think about it. I mean, poor Tim, I'm not blaming him. Like the kid traumatized already to that point. Dr. Grant though, like
Oh, Tim's a fucking idiot.
come on.
Right, like Grant should know better.
Tim didn't turn on the light in the car. That was his sister. He was just following along.
Tim held on to a fence that said 10,000
That was
volts on
later,
it.
though. He got dumber.
Oh, so you said he started out okay. And then
Look at the progression of him in the film. Like, you got to feel sympathetic for him. At that point, Dr. Grant told him to jump. We know it's like 12 feet. You ain't jumping.
Well,
I am absolutely jumping.
No, you're not.
I'm jumping, but and I hate heights, but I'm jumping. But here's the problem: is when he says to the kid, "Jump, I'll catch you." There's a jump cut right after it, and Dr. Grant's like 20 feet back.
Oh yeah, he's like way too far.
There's no way. If the kid jumps, he's splatting on the
He's
concrete
dead.
under this fence. And then it shows him right next to the concrete again, a jump cut later. So the editing in this movie is terrible. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Tim's shin bones would have been through his brain. Not that that means a lot because
But
it's
he
gone. But
still would have been more alive than
Yeah,
10,000 volts.
snap both your legs or get like
for all we know,
eviscerated.
Tim has always been behind and beneath things as we see in this film. Like, he's just trying to overcome.
It's true.
I feel for him.
He does get screwed a lot in this movie. And even right down to the end where the fossils are falling off the ceiling. Like, he's the only one that has a full rib
What are you
cage
talking
falling
about?
on
He
him.
gets so lucky. Other people are falling on their asses, and he gets like saved by a tree.
Yeah, when he
like
did
a
his
rock.
character build, he just put the luck stat.
Yeah, it's to instantly re-roll those natural ones. Man, yeah, that's my worst. It goes Tim and the 10,000 volts, and then the sheer wall that the
We need to
T-Rex
tell
had
our
step
listeners
over.
you would die at 120 volts.
Yeah, 100.
You
well,
guys would die.
I mean, there has to be some level of amps that go through it. but almost any level of amps at 10,000, you're fucked.
You're gone.
Yeah. So, for example, like a police taser is usually about 2,500 volts, but it's run on fucking AA batteries. So it's not like there's enough actual juice pumping through that to zap you. This thing was designed to stop a dinosaur. It's going to kill the 6-year-old or the 10-year-old.
Those Utah T-Rexes, man. Watch out.
Though if it can climb the sheer concrete wall, it should be able to just jump right
No, it didn't climb it. It floated. It did. They're special. We don't even know everything about them.
What was the goat sitting on? Like that? Because it was sitting right in the same spot.
It was on a little platform. It levitated up.
No, they
So
had
it's
it.
just
It was
hovering
it was
there.
a concrete pillar 30 feet down that they built all the way up,
Yeah,
and then they had a tarp that looked like dirt around it to fool people.
The T-Rex.
Yeah, no wonder the T-Rex didn't eat the goat because it was all
Couldn't
the way
reach
down
it.
in the pit.
Yeah, exactly.
Couldn't reach it.
I thought he did eat the goat.
He did eat the goat.
He did, but we
Right
don't.
before he stepped
What's
over
the matter,
cliff.
kid? You never had lamb chops?
Yeah.
I happen to be a vegetarian.
Yeah, don't run into a bathroom when there's a
I
panic.
prefer to be called a hacker.
Javier brought this up, but the construction quality of that bathroom, I mean, begs to differ. Like, was this park really ready for
Dude,
this?
that thing was like glued together.
Yeah, the T-Rex like breathed on it. It's gone.
It just falls around this poor dude, right? Like, man, he would have been better off if a wall fell on him.
The blood's
Like, oh, that's
Oh, man.
that guy sucks.
I think I found Gennaro. I think I did too. There's some great one-liners in this movie, though.
There are some good ones.
Throughout this movie.
Spared no expense.
Oh, God, that one gets old, though.
What you call progress, I call the rape in the natural world. That has got to be the single best line in any movie ever.
What's the one where he says he's in the back of the Jeep? He's like, I'm mildly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what does he say?
What does he
It's
say?
impact tremor.
Yeah.
I'm
slightly terrified, or I'm
Yeah.
worried, or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember what he says.
Yep, I would be too.
Well, and I love that he's just so quiet about it. Like, I'd be like, get your fucking asses up here.
And then a little bit later, he's the one. He's like, "Well, John, if the Pirates of the Caribbean ride breaks down, the pirates are going to eat the guests." Like, very true. Been on that ride. That would be terrifying. I wouldn't go back.
Just a quick one other thing with the pit. Ellie and the hunter dude make it up and down that thing pretty quick too.
So fast.
There's an elevator.
Yeah, like
Or
they rode the goat.
They wrote the code thing down.
or an escalator. I mean, it just depends. Like you pick, or a pulley system. I mean, we don't know.
I would say that it makes sense to dig the pit because then you could be at eye level with the T-Rex.
And just pet it.
Yeah, that you.
yeah,
by
just
hand.
stick a hand in there.
Yeah, like giraffes. at
just don't
zoos.
touch the fence.
Yeah, because then you'll die.
No, you won't.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You just get blown back.
just
Not if you
get-
don't move.
So long as someone gives you mouth to mouth.
Hey, when they put locks on those vehicles, no one's gonna get out. So like, don't worry.
Dude, that guy's got a point. How do they not have locks on
It's a
those
pretty
cars?
big oversight.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technologically, these cars are broken anyway. I love that they're on a monorail system with no attachment to the rail.
Hey, our listeners don't need to know that.
Yeah, it's magnetic. Spare no expense.
Because
Could be.
1993 had that kind of technology.
What? Shoot, man. Do you see that user interface on the computer?
Yeah, interactive CPU. Oh,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Mouse is floating over this 3D file system. Why does it look like that?
it looks like small cities.
Yeah, no shit.
We've come a long way.
It reminds me, I don't know if you guys will get this reference, but in Community, when he gets into virtual reality, have any of you guys seen this episode?
No.
Wait, yeah, and they're like in the video game, and he like almost stays
and he's
to marry
like
that one chick.
learning how to delete files and by like slashing them. and it's
yeah.
like this big.
Yeah.
It's funnier if you've watched the show. but-
That would get old though in time if you had to do that every day.
Hey, you can play my dad. I don't want to play your dad. See, you already know your lines.
Well said. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay, good things about this movie, though.
The music.
Amazing music.
dude.
That's where I was going to go with this. It's even better when you scream it into a mic.
Kind of fake trumpet it.
That was real.
That's a real trumpet, JJ. Show some
Jeez.
goddamn respect.
Come on, man. I've been practicing for weeks. Jeez. Ungrateful. Go home. But no, John Williams slayed this movie. But yeah, this music, I just love it. It's
fantastic.
awesome.
John Williams, we talked about this during the movie. Like, he has so many memorable themes to so many movies. You just think about it: Star Wars, Jaws, Jurassic Park, E.T. Like, you can go down the list of the movies this man has scored, and almost all of them, like, you just can remember certain melodies throughout. So
They remember.
What is that from?
That's from
Lion
Jurassic Park.
King? Oh.
Oh, he's being the game. He's being the gamekeeper.
Yeah.
He's being the gamekeeper.
He's talking about the Velociraptor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're talking about them
remember.
testing the
I don't know
fence.
if you've seen
You
the
can
movie,
almost
Ian,
see.
but
And if you haven't spared
once.
expense, if you'd spared no expense, make the gate fucking higher.
Dude, that's the point I was making. That
I
seems
know.
like a really small enclosure for things that we're
Yeah.
worried about how high they jump.
And if they can jump up and hit the electric fence, put that part a little taller, and it's not a problem anymore.
Oversized turkeys. Come on.
But he spared no expense on the ice
also,
cream.
like as a visitor, how am I supposed to see these things?
Yeah.
Where do I go?
Yeah,
You got to get that really like thick.
Is it like a polar bear
plexiglass.
thing? Yeah, where you like kind of go inside the thingy and you can see underwater.
through the glass.
Yeah, see through
Now
the
that would
glass.
be fucking cool until it was like,
Hey, if
oh,
you-
look, lunch.
If you pay extra, they'll let you in.
just in.
Yeah.
It's feeding time.
They have really good lawyers.
Also, the acting, awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
love Sam Neill.
I do too. Sam Neill's amazing.
So
I
Sam-
love Laura Dern.
So Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum are coming back into this next movie.
Oh, is
All
Goldblum
three?
coming back too?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I think all three are.
I don't think it's gonna work. It's
Oh,
probably
dude, they've all worked.
it's gonna be disappointing.
They've spared no expense.
This is true.
It's when you say things like that like it triggers a response
They're,
for me. Like,
dude, Jurassic Park is batting 1,000 right now. They've done no wrong.
Are we going there?
we already talked
Oh
about
my
it
gosh.
wrong. Like, even like you, like we were in the middle of this review, and you're like, "No, I don't want to talk about that part." Like, come on,
Dude.
And that was 3, which
Dude,
is
Eve, they can be
mildly better than
littered with
2.
all these little things. Still the greatest movie ever made. Yeah.
They got away from the animatronics or anima. What does the lawyer say?
Autoerotic.
Autoerotica. They should have stuck with that more in the later ones because they lean much more on the CGI and the more I just don't like
Dude, it's
the direction.
awesome. What are you talking about?
In the later ones,
It looks so good.
you've said it from your own mouth that you've been disappointed.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
He's talking about the older ones when they
Yeah,
start
like
doing the CGI
Like the
more.
second Jurassic Park, I will give you the Spinosaurus does not look as good as the T-Rex.
The older one, I like the actual animatronics. I think it holds up, but some of these newer movies,
Dude, that's bullshit. Because if you were to like watch Star Wars, you wouldn't want them to have those like fucking plastic stupid things in front of those paintings or whatever. You're glad they're using CGI. So don't miss me
Wait,
with that stupid
plastic
like,
things in front of what are we
Yeah,
talking
they have those
about?
like little models that they would fly in front of like a painting of the moon or whatever bullshit thing they did with.
Actually, let me back this train up because you had to bring Star Wars into it.
I did,
'Cause
obviously.
I wasn't going to say shit, but then you had to bring Star Wars. Trying to be nice. Here's the thing: as a diehard Star Wars fan, and anybody that's listened to our other podcast, shameless plug,
JJ
the
has
TV
Star Wars
side.
undies.
So fair warning, I actually haven't listened to those.
Well, no, I was saying that for those that have listened, and if you haven't, you should go listen to them because we did the Mandalorian.
I'm gonna go listen if everyone who's listening commits to go listen.
There you go.
Javier, Bill Burr is in The Mandalorian.
That's true.
Oh, he is.
He is in the Mandalorian.
And it's very entertaining.
yeah, he's very good in the
I would
Mandalorian.
watch that. Okay.
Yeah. There's like
We
2
told
episodes
you
you
probably
need to
actually
watch.
like the Mandalorian.
I
know you have a natural bias because it says Star Wars somewhere in it.
It's just that anything that's come out in Star Wars in the last like 5 years has just sucked. So, but to be fair, I haven't watched all of it. I've just watched like 3 of them, and if you can't make one good movie in 3 movies, that's just.
And
that's
we're
just it.
saying
It's
that
like an M. Night Shyamalan ratio.
in Jurassic World has done no harm.
No, they haven't, dude. Jurassic World, and the first and second one have been awesome, dude.
We're just saying
good.
I don't think I've seen the second one.
we're saying that rich people can
didn't
just
miss
get away with auctioning crazy
We
dinosaurs.
know that they can. There, you got a dentist that flew to Africa and shot like a national treasure that just got away with it. Rich people can do whatever the hell they want.
Anyway,
Sorry,
what
go
I was saying was, I am a purist that would take the old Star Wars with the practical effects. I hate the re-released editions of the old Star Wars movies with all of the digital effects.
Oh, so we can agree on stuff. Star
fucking
Wars sucks.
Hate it. No, it doesn't. It just doesn't add any value. And the same thing, like with Jurassic Park 2 and 3, and I'm not talking about Jurassic World because their CGI is great because it's modern. And yes, I will give Jurassic Park credit. It redefined computer graphic
Thank you.
animation. It redefined it. It changed movie making in that way. However, in 2 and 3, they far too much leaned on it, and it looked clunky and shitty. When the baby Brachiosaurus in this one looks better than your main villain in the second one, you have a problem. You did some shit wrong. And that's what happens. The baby Brachiosaur, which doesn't look great, by the way, because it's new technology. Like you said, the freaking dinosaur in 2 is awful.
Yeah, I will admit it's not great. But help me remember, did Spielberg direct 2 and 3? Because I thought he was involved as like.
I'm pretty sure he bailed on that. He wouldn't be a part of that.
He doesn't do too many sequels. He's usually a producer.
I put a lot on that. Like the ones that Steven Spielberg has like direct influence in are usually pretty good.
Sure.
Yeah, just money grab.
Yeah, they get a little off base when
Yeah, I mean he doesn't own them, right?
That was very mature of you, Javier.
I mean, they're still great movies, and I've still seen all of those movies several times.
They're not great movies, but
Is there any scenario where at the end of this Jurassic Park isn't a 5 by you?
no.
Ian, let me tell you something. On Netflix right now, there is a children's TV show called Camp Cretaceous.
Is this the Jurassic Park animated
Yeah,
one?
I've seen all of it. I've watched a children's show based in the same
Was
universe
Asen always
as Jurassic World.
Was Asen always with you?
Asen was not with me any part of the time.
Wow.
I watched it alone.
That says
by
it all.
myself.
No. I will defend Javier on this because I've watched every animated Star Wars that's ever come out. So, and I have no children, so I can't even fake that I have an excuse for it. But
What's the storyline? Because every other Jurassic movie that I've seen, there's a lot of eating people. So how do you make a kid show?
Oh, they cut away like right before people get eaten.
There's just a lot of like ghost
people
dark.
get eaten.
Oh yeah,
That's
dude.
awesome.
Yeah, there's one scene where these kids are like in this tree house looking down, and the Indominus Rex or these two dudes, like park workers, are like, "Hey kids, you got to get out of here," because it's set at the same time as the first Jurassic World, where the Indominus Rex is loose, and it follows these kids who were part of this like camp.
This is a kid show?
Yeah, it's a kid show.
Terrifying.
Anyway, they're in this tree house, and these guys are like, "You got to run," and then the Indominus Rex shows it like running towards these guys, and it pans up and looks at the kids' horrified faces, and that's it.
This sounds wrong to me.
Yeah.
I might have to watch this cartoon.
Like it is children's animation though. It's like shitty
The Indominus
animation.
Rex only eats adults. it
Well, I
sounds like.
mean, not for lack of trying.
That's funny.
Anyway, Ian, to answer your question, no, this is going to be a 5.
Okay.
And yes, I will watch it again.
Just curious if
Yeah,
there
I
was
mean
any
that was definitely
we never had a doubt.
No,
like I will put this on in the background and do something. Like
sure. I mean,
But
I
it's
get
not a
that.
background movie for you, is it? I thought that's what.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
no,
Sure,
background
it's a
movies are
background.
awesome.
No, he
Bad
likes
thing.
background movie. It is a background movie because he can quote the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, sometimes I
when
just
you
want to
get-
listen to a T-Rex roar, you know?
Yeah, when he's on the
That
John.
really gets me like elbow grease like for the dishes and stuff.
I'm not gonna
like,
lie to you. Like, I'm surprised that you don't have like a phone, like a ringtone that has to do with Jurassic Park.
Probably should get one.
I will say this. So since we were talking about things that are good about this movie, there are some pretty amazing scenes. Like where you talked about the acting. Like there's some scenes in this movie that are very poignant and very interesting to watch. The acting was really good. Like I love the scene with Laura Dern and Hammond when they're eating the ice cream. Like that back and forth was very good. Pretty much everything that Jeff Goldblum, like when he got serious and was being like shitty to people, like and trying to explain, "Hey fuckers, I'm the smartest guy in the room right now when it comes to crazy dinosaur amusement parks." Yeah, so I mean, there's really good moments in this movie, which I think makes it so that we forgive a lot of the weird shit that happens in the movie. So
Yeah, some of the acting that I like is, I think you mentioned it, JJ, if we were watching it, but like how some people go from like laughing and joking around to just abject terror.
Yeah.
Right? They'll go from like screaming to like Jeff Goldblum like making a joke.
yeah. Well, and like Nedry, like he cracks me out. Like the dude's cracked because when at the beginning when you meet him and they're sitting at he's talking to Dodson and he's like laughing hysterically, and then he goes like all serious. Like I'm like, that dude's frightening. If I didn't know I could outrun his ass, I'd be scared of him.
Dotson.
Newman.
We got Dotson here. You didn't say the magic word.
I always wonder what the magic word is.
Please. Come on, Ian.
No.
Were you born in a barn, dude?
If it was please, they would have unlocked the computer system. There would
No,
be
he
no
didn't say
movie.
please. He didn't say like, do this, please.
No, he said Didn't say the magic word.
Yeah, the magic word is please. He was supposed to type in a command and write please, and he didn't.
That shit would have been great if it was like just like
Butterfingers.
Butterfinger.
Money, 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 money.
You talk about a toxic work environment. Like,
Man.
Hammond's like, you've got our life in the hands. You're eating like a fucking pig.
When you see his desk and there's just like this level of trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, it's on the floor too. Like
Yeah.
it's not even
I
like
never noticed that.
God. Like they
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson came out for that one, and he did not like that workspace.
No.
But yeah,
This dude's a slob, and he like pushes all this shit off
I'm
the
like,
desk.
geez, guys, no wonder why he
Like, I bet the magic.
you know
words
why
in there
he
somewhere.
probably died though? He smoked himself to death. Like he went in there, and that's probably what he died from, not the Velociraptor.
just lung disease.
Hold on,
Dude, he was
kills.
smoking like a pipe.
No, he just forgot to hold on to his butt. Hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts.
Wow,
They
I
say
thought that
that.
was the funniest shit when I was a kid. Hold on to your butts.
I still say that. That's like the funniest thing ever to me.
Yeah.
It's like Samuel L. Jackson at his most mildest.
No shit.
Yeah, dude.
We talked about that today watching it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, when was the last time you heard Samuel L. Jackson say the word crap?
Yeah,
Hey,
no shit.
PG.
I just want the R-rated version of Samuel L. Jackson in that movie. He sits down, he's like, this dirty motherfucker, as he's pushing shit off the
I don't
desk.
think he knew how to be that Samuel L. Jackson yet.
Oh, I think he did.
He had to mature into
He had it inside.
He still had hair.
When did
He had to let go of the hair.
That was weird seeing him with hair.
Well, no, he had hair in Die Hard 3, which came after this.
I haven't watched that in a long time.
Don't remember that one.
Die Hard with a Vengeance is that one. Where him and Samuel L. Jackson, and that's where Bruce Willis had to wear the sign that had like the N-word on it.
Oh.
He's standing out in Harlem, New York.
Oh, God.
With the sign on it. And Samuel L. Jackson's this shop owner going, what the fuck is this dude doing? And like Sam Jackson saved him. And then they run around trying to find all these bombs together. And like the bad guy calls him the Samaritan, the whole movie. It's a great movie. It's a lot of fun. The second one, it's another one. It's like Jurassic Park. The first one's fantastically almost perfect. The second one blows ass. And the third one's decent.
Oh, okay. I can get behind that.
Yeah, that's Die Hard. And then from there, it just goes to fucking hell.
Yeah, I tried to watch all the
Very-
Die Hard ones. I watched the first one. Awesome. Second one, I gave up.
Yeah, it's rough.
So apparently I need to watch the third one.
When did Pulp Fiction come out?
I've never seen
94.
that.
It was a year after.
yeah.
I've never seen the whole thing. Yeah.
Wow, that's
That's a
disappointing.
great movie.
You think we would have, but
I was just wondering because I was like, I knew it came out similar time frame.
That is a tasty burger.
Yeah.
Do you
All
mind
right.
if I wash it down with your beverage?
What a great movie. I love Pulp Fiction.
Say what? One more time.
Motherfucker. Yeah, so Jurassic Park, we ready to rate this thing?
let's do.
I'm ready.
All right.
Should I go first?
Yeah, just get it out of the way. Okay.
I'm gonna give this a 3.5. Just kidding.
I took my joke. I was going to fucking do that. I gave this a 2.
Guys, if I ever come to you and say I don't like Jurassic Park, I want you to take my gun and
Slap
shoot
you
me in the
silly.
face.
No, if you ever do that, I'm going to be like, Javier's having a stroke. Someone call 911.
I'm having a strong call of ambulance.
No, that's the question. Like if we're in the future and someone is like wearing, there's a copy of you, or like
Yeah.
I need to identify who you are. I'm gonna say
yeah.
like,
What's your favorite movie?
yeah, and if you say anything but that, I know I've got to kill you.
Yeah, do it.
True.
Freaky. That's why we were talking about that.
Yeah, yeah. How would we convince each other that we
That's
are?
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be one of the
That's the
questions you could ask me.
I feel like that's too well known, though. Like everybody and their mom that listens to the podcast
But do we have
knows.
everyone and their mom listening to this?
Yeah,
Not
dude.
yet.
Seriously, guys,
All right.
this is like a 10 out of 5.
I had a think
Mark
about
me
that.
down 10. I'm gonna give this a 5, and I'm probably gonna watch it again like next week. So you guys are welcome to join me.
I mean, I probably would, but no. 3 times in less than a year is a little much for me.
Dude, I'm just getting ramped up. Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah,
man.
I've
Pump
seen-
those up.
yeah.
There's only one movie
It's been
series that I
yeah,
can do
that's
that with.
true. It's been 3 times in less than a year for me.
Yeah, 3 times
I'm
less.
good. I don't need to see this for a while.
Once in the theater, it was really cool to see it again in the theater.
It was awesome. It was my first
amazing.
time seeing it.
Awesome on the big screen, without a
so
doubt.
cool. It was
The
amazing.
Utah T-Rex,
It was the most beautiful thing I ever
the
saw.
oversized turkeys, they looked good.
All right.
Is this a Thanksgiving movie? Maybe.
Apparently it is now. All right, Mattson, give us your rating.
I think I'm going to give this movie a solid 4.
What?
A very, very, very solid 4. The reason being, absolutely love the music of this movie. Something I listen to probably at least monthly. It's in my epic movie playlist. I love the acting. Very rewatchable movie. Why it's not a 5 for me? I think we've talked a lot about just some of the plot things that just don't add up. And I don't know, maybe I should give it higher than a 4.
You should give it higher than a 4.
I'm going to go 4.5. It's not a perfect movie, but I don't know. I've seen this movie so many times. I like this movie. This is the only Jurassic Park movie that I would get a 4.5 because the others, I think, take a dip down. But nostalgic, to set up one of the greatest movie franchise universes out there. So I do think I need to alter it, give it a 4.5. I will watch this movie again, not for a while. Seen it 3 times in less than a year. Great movie.
Ian.
I don't know what to rate this movie. I know what Javier would rate this movie.
That's what everyone should rate it.
Been made abundantly clear. What I do really like about this, because I haven't seen it in years.
You're
It's been
stalling.
a long time. No. I think this is a fair point, Javier. It's a point towards Jurassic Park.
okay.
You'll like it.
Okay.
But what I love about this movie is I think that it was made in a time where it didn't have to be bigger and better than everything else. I don't know if that makes sense. Like if you go and you watch like the Transformers movies, each one just gets even more outlandish and bigger explosions and all this jazz. And I felt like this movie did what it did really, really well. And that's what makes it a super good movie, rather than them being like, well, maybe the T-Rex could eat a whole group of people now. Like kind of what the second and third start to do, where they try and make it more intense and gory. But I felt like this one did what it did extremely well, and that's what makes it a good movie. We talked about the acting and all that jazz, the score, so I'm gonna go 4.
4?
Yeah, I mean, I would maybe do the 4.5 until Javier pointed out that there's a hand that comes out and pushes the raptor. So
in the kitchen,
you earned that rating.
I'm Jurassic Park's worst enemy.
It's
Biggest
funny.
fan and worst enemy.
That's true. We talked about that last episode, actually. Look, I give Javier a hard time, but I do love Jurassic Park. And I think the only reason I give Javier a hard time is because the first time we talked about Jurassic Park, he immediately insulted Star Wars and Star Wars fans.
I didn't insult Star Wars. I just said Star Wars wouldn't be what it is today without Jurassic Park. How is that insulting?
the fate of our podcast almost didn't happen. JJ could have walked away.
That's not the moment
I've
I'm talking
insulted
about.
Star Wars since then.
No, that's not the moment I'm talking about, though, Javier. The moment I'm talking about was almost immediately following when you're like, fuck you, Star Wars fans.
Oh, I did say that. In my defense, you guys suck.
We're our own worst enemies, too. Trust me. Look, I love Jurassic Park. I've always enjoyed the movie. I thought it was great when I was a kid. I think it's great as an adult. I thought there's some fun parts to it. It holds up in the entertainment value. Like, I can't watch this and not have a good time, which means a lot to me when it comes to movies. If I can go back to, a 30-year-old movie, that's impressive, and that I still have a good time with it.
Oh my gosh, it's almost 30
It's almost 30 years old. It's crazy,
That's
isn't it?
nuts.
So, yeah, I like it. Is it a perfect movie? No.
Yes.
There are a lot of continuity issues and some really bad editing in this movie. So I'm giving it a 4 as well.
Oh my gosh. You guys are just doing this to piss me off.
No, I'm really not. I'm giving it a 4.
Solid rated movie.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, 4 is solid.
Unbelievable. For a movie that changed movies as we know it, you're giving it a 4.
Yeah.
Might as well just spit on my grave.
I mean, I will. Except I'll probably die long before you, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
Getting eaten by a T-Rex.
Giant turkey. And I'll watch it again because I'd watch this movie almost any time. I give Javier a hard time about 3 times in the last year, but it's been fun every time. So yeah, so there's our rating. 4, 4.5, and a 5. Great movie. Go watch it. Next week, tune in. We're going to be watching Raya and the Last Dragon on Disney+. So
that's
that'll be
already
a fun
coming
one.
out?
Yeah, March 5th. We'll be watching that one. That'll be our next review. So tune in for that. It'll be fun. We do have some interesting movies in March, and then we die off in April, and hopefully May will be picked up again with some new movies. Yeah, tune in. Raya and the Last Dragon will be coming out on March 8th, so we look forward to that. It'll be a nice animated feature, change of pace, but looking forward to some new movies in March. And Mattson, why don't you tell everybody where they can find us?
You can find us at whatsourverdict.com. Check out what's coming out in the month of March. We're excited for some new movies to be dropping. So check out our coming up schedule. Chime in on Instagram and Facebook, and check out our YouTube page. Watch the video of Javier freaking out from our what scary movie was that? Their
Possession
series.
of Hannah Grace.
Yes,
And then there's more coming for
there'll be more. We're definitely going to have another one, so chime in there too. But we love to hear from you. Definitely hit the like button, subscribe, help us grow the podcast. Chime in our website as well. Leave us a comment. That's all.
Cool. We appreciate you tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Cinemagic out.